Sorry. Last time you guys, Aaron wasn't here, so I'll quickly go over actually a little more detail. So you guys finally made it to Spirehealth after being chased by something. You never actually stopped to see what it was, but it was producing a lot of smoke in the Ezreal forest. But you guys made it to Spirehealth without having to encounter whatever that was. The smoke disappeared for now, at least. Who knows what it was? However, when you got to Spirehealth, there are hundreds of storm clouds swirling on top of it, as if some huge prophetic moment was going on. When you finally got there and got to the source of where the storm clouds were swirling, this enormous thunderbolt crashed down from the sky and ripped apart the concrete, basically disintegrating nearby shops that were caught in the blast. What appeared from that thunderbolt was an enormous blue giant. Who apparently the Council of Spirehealth were expecting in some way. After that, a tiny little Genasi ran up and began speaking for this giant and told the council that they were under arrest or that they were going to trial or court for something.
And the giant looked at Maya like a disappointed parent.
Yes, and for some reason the giant basically fucking death glared at Maya.
It's because they avoid their taxes. They're horse tax evasion.
After that, the group met up with Balix, who told them that he needs their help in collecting a few things, and everything they get, Balix can help with certain needs that the group has. And he can tell what your needs are, because he has implanted in his head something called Gem of Need.
I don't recognize that anywhere.
But he has promised the group to help them with their own problems and personal wants and needs if they help him with his. And his help that you need to help him with, or he's asked you to help him with at least, is to help him gather several different artifacts. The Mask of Sorrow, the Gem of Need, the Blood of Desire, Sword of Hate, the Halo of Ego. Oh, and the Effigy of Hunger. And he's told you, lucky, that one of those artifacts is in Spirehealth. Something called the Mind of Envy, which I just forgot to mention. He's told you that the Mind of Envy is somewhere deep beneath Spirehealth, currently in the possession of an Illithid, or Mind Flicker, a very, very, very rare and very dangerous creature to come across. The group realized they probably needed to research this thing a little bit to figure out what it was or what its area might be in, just to get a little more info than
Justin, what would I know about Illithids is the question.
Oh, let me finish with this first, Sam. And they also realized that, hey, we got a lot of fucking moolah. Let's go fucking shopping.
And now we're gonna go blow all 500 gold we own on a broom.
Yeah, so the group decided to buy a broom.
Okay, I'm like, nobody even got me a cure.
It's not a magic broom. It's just a normal
We're gonna get a magic broom.
You're being scammed, but you're buying it from Topacious,
who is a universal constant.
Why do you guys need a magical broom?
Because one of us can run as fast as the horse, which is the horse. You can fly and teleport. So we're going to get a broom of flying where we're going to attach Bader's gun to it. And then me, you, and Bader can all get on this broom together if we move 30 feet. Or we could just let Lucas sit on it for the rest of his life and move 60 feet. Doesn't matter who's on the broom. But the broom can let one of us or two of us move at the same speed. So if one of us were to move on a turn, we would both be on that broom. It's basically like flying, but except you can do it already, and Santiago can run just as fast as the broom can at like really no capacity.
Sam just wants to fly the broom, and she convinced the rest of the group.
Okay. Lucas wanted a broom.
He got a broom. Wanted to clean.
It's a really good magic item. That's why it's so expensive. The group also, you guys can check out the Research Guild or ask people around, try and get information about the lower levels of Spirehealth or about the Illithid. Or there are some side quests as well at the Hunters Guild if you want to take up a side quest.
Yeah, because I thought the plan, y'all, was to go to the Hunters Guild and see if there's anything out for like the Illithid itself.
You could also always go back to the Azerfeld Forest, or at least nearby, and try and see what was chasing you.
No.
That sounds like a bad idea.
What, Sean?
Sounds like a bad idea. Go back in the forest.
Do you all want to talk in character and decide what your next move is? You could just wait until night.
We were in the middle of shopping.
Yeah, you could just still do some stuff and talk amongst each other if you want to find anything or shop for anything. So decide what your next move is. You have lots of options.
just for roleplay moments, because I do remember this, Santiago was asking Tobacious, and we named the bar.
Oh, I wanted to do research on the monster before purchasing things.
Okay. So let me pull up the map. So in the city, it's a main hub of several different guilds. For instance, the Scholars Guild and the Hunters Guild, Maya, would be your best bet in researching creatures, figuring out weaknesses, figuring out patterns, most of all.
Yeah.
So you could probably head there if you want to figure something out, or hire someone to do something for you.
I would like to do that.
Okay.
If everyone
What's everyone else doing?
Gus is standing there, and he thinks, and he's like, I have to do some other shopping. I'll be back.
Okay, then. I guess I'll go with Santiago to research what this thing is that Balix wants us to take care of.
Yeah, don't you get yourself in trouble. I mean it.
It's not my thing to really get in too much trouble anyway. Maybe.
Okay. Where are Sean and Kit Kat going then?
I'll go shopping, I guess.
Okay. And
Not
Sean,
to get
where are
in
you
trouble, but
I just want to yeah.
So we'll jump to the. So we'll start with Sam, Aaron, and Sean. I guess Sean's busy.
Sean is hooking up headset.
Aaron, so the way this works is that you can look up different magic items that either exist. So you could either think of something that you want to try and find and ask one of the shopkeepers, probably Tobacious in the end, if they have something that you're thinking of. Or you could literally just look up magic items and see if they have one of those.
okay.
Tobacious' magic item cup. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, do you think it'd be possible for my cousin to send me his fucking rat harmonica?
Oh no, I didn't use that mailbox.
You had to get in contact with the extra dimensional UPS service.
Okay, and how do I do that? Because I need to send him, I want the fucking rat.
Go check out Tobacious' magic shop and see if you have anything for that.
Wait, are we going through with Mince's magic mailbox?
No,
Yes.
Aaron's looking for the rat whistle, was it?
No, it's like so wait, let me see, I have it.
Like a pan flute?
Okay, is this better?
That's way better.
Yes.
Much better.
The item is Pipes of the
Okay.
Sewers. I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
It's the one that summons rats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's summon up to like 30 rats or something stupid.
Yeah, so
It's
within
lot of rats.
it's within 30 feet. All the rats just come to you.
Yeah. Sweet.
What is everyone else doing? So Sam, you're
I'm
also
not
shopping.
shopping.
Is there anything that you're looking for? Remember
what I
that most
talked
of the
to
money
you
is
about.
going. Remember that
No,
most of the money.
all of our gold is going to it. 500 gold is worth
Yeah.
exactly how much it is. I still have my own personal staff of shards.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you looking for?
I need to get my hat and my staff.
Do you want it to be magic, or are you just looking for a normal hat and staff?
I mean, like, a magic hat would be fun, but I don't.
Look at a hat of disguise.
I feel like a normal hat would just be fun, like a normal big wizard hat like Lucas used to wear in his old design.
Okay. Well, what about you, Sean? Are you shopping for something specific?
I also need to get the staff.
I need the stuff to make the spear hold, to make the net holder.
That's true.
Vader could come with me then.
You need the equipment.
I
and shit.
was.
Oh,
The nets.
two
The
bros
lightning
who are
javelin.
intrigued
Okay, so you're
by
gonna try to find them as
fucking.
well? Okay. While they are shopping for net materials or artificer materials, clothes, and trying to get in contact with a distant extra-dimensional relative, while that's happening, Yui and Santiago are heading off to the Scholars Guild or the Hunters Guild. So the Scholars Guild are the people that know a lot of shit. The Hunters Guild are the people that actually either post jobs to hunt down things or hunt down things themselves. They also do a lot more than just kill shit. They work as bodyguards, escorts, freelance soldiers, not freelance, but you know what I mean. The Hunters Guild is basically a variety of just sign up if you can work, if you can fight, if you can protect yourself or something else. Join up or do some jobs for us. You don't have to join up. The Scholars Guild, you pay them to basically research things or to get you information on stuff. They already have it. It works in kind of like a loop system, where the Scholars Guild is paid by the Hunters Guild to find out shit. Scholars Guild pays the Hunters Guild to explore for the Scholars Guild, and back and forth. Other people can kind of like insert their own tasks in there as well.
I guess probably the Scholars Guild would make more sense first.
Oh, I also wanted to sign up for that. Well,
Sure,
we'll
no
do
one
that
makes
later.
Oh, did Lucas want to do that too? Because if he probably would have mentioned that earlier, and I would have, we could just go to the Hunters Guild and then meet up at the Scholars Guild.
Yeah, that would be fine. Hello, play.
Okay. Hunters Guild first, then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay, so the two of you head off while everyone else is shopping. We'll jump to the shopping right now, and then we'll go back to Santiago and Yui. So for shopping, Sam, are you looking for just normal hat and normal staff, or who are you talking to?
So I want to get a hat and staff, kind of made in the exact same coloration as my cloak. Just saying.
If you want like tailors, you should go seek out people who are actual craftsmen and see. Tailors
and I also wanted to get a staff like fitted and made for the 4 orbs I own.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably make that.
I mean,
I'm proficient with woodcarver's tools.
Then that would solve that problem. If Beta
You
wouldn't
just need
mind.
the wood.
Yeah.
We'd still need the wood, but
Oh, wood's not hard to find in a town surrounded by a forest.
then shit, yeah, we can do that.
Okay.
So I'm still gonna get like a tailored hat though.
So you're just like looking for a tailor somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not gonna have you roll for this. I'm not gonna really roleplay this either because this is a real small thing and I don't want to take too much time on it. You find a tailor pretty readily who's more than willing to sew up a hat. He like takes some measures of your head. Quite a large but nimble and dexterous man. And he takes some measures of your head. He listens to your request. You pick out like a few different fabrics. And quite soon, he will give you a very, 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 very nice hat for the price of 75 sharp.
That's nothing. I can fork that over.
Okay, you hand it over?
Yeah.
Sean, you're also looking for supplies?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're looking for supplies and probably a place to work on these things?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not too hard to find supplies. There's loads around. Spire Hill is full of laborers and crafters and tinkerers and stuff like that. There are loads of dwarves and gnomes around who are more than happy to sell you some of their supplies. So you don't find that too hard either. You can like pull up like 200 shards worth of different like materials and stuff that you can like haul around and use.
Okay.
This will work for you for a while. It's 200 shards worth of materials. Okay. So go ahead and take 200 shards off your sheet.
Okay.
And Aaron,
Mm-hmm.
what are you doing? Because you're looking for
Mince's magic mailbox.
Yeah,
they're
I
not
guess
looking for Mince's magic mailbox. They're looking for some way to communicate with
Another planar being that is on a different universe.
Yeah, I guess I'll go visit Tabation, his shop or whatever it was. 'Cause you said that he might would like be able to do like get in touch or whatever.
Oh no, we got to hear
Well,
Tobacious
hello
again.
there, you natural freak of nature.
Okay.
What can I do for you?
Oh wait, did I do a voice for him? I can't remember. Oh, it's the same as all my other fucking voices.
Yeah.
Your one voice.
I want to get in touch with my cousin.
Okay.
He lives very far away.
How far away are we talking about?
Another universe.
Oh, don't worry, you insane Frankenstein monster. I too have relatives in extra-dimensional spaces. Turns out all the Tobaciouses are just brothers.
They're literally Anna and Fire Emblem, but like.
Well, I can help you out. If you're looking to send some kind of letter or something of the like, I could potentially have a little gift for them.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I need to ask for his rat harmonica.
Okay. If you write up a letter or anything else, I'll send it to whoever you're wanting for 50 shards. If you're looking to send over a package, it'll be 100 shards extra.
I'm not literate. Fuck. Someone needs to come and write this letter for me.
Oh no.
Wait, you're a tiefling, right?
Sammy!
Can tieflings not write Infernal? Can you not write Infernal?
Aaron's completely illiterate.
Wait.
They're all small
We're
people
already
don't
gone,
know how to.
though.
Oh no!
No, it's fine. I'll just...
It's just a picture of a harmonica and a rat.
Yeah, he'll get it. He'll get
Great.
So like fold that
So
up.
I'm gonna send that.
50 shards to send a letter across extra-dimensional spaces. Surprisingly cheap for such a cosmic task.
I mean, you just like upcast sending, really.
Are you like handing it over?
Yeah. I went
Okay,
I
so
went
you-
ahead and gave him the note and then
You
the
hand him
money.
the notes and the shards, and he's like, yes, this will do just fine. And he reaches below him and grabs something. And he lifts it up and slams it on the table in front of him. And it's this weird, it's like this strange metal box that's curved on the top. And it has this little red flag on the side of it. And he opens it up, and he sticks it inside. It seems to be empty, and he closes it. And he flips the flag. And he waits, and he listens, opens it again, and it's empty. Well, hopefully this will get to its other partner, and the Tobacious of that universe can deal with it whenever it needs to.
Wow.
You'll get your, it's 100% sent, so you'll get your thing whenever you do if the other person respond. Which I hope they do. Having estranged family members is never fun. I would know! All of my family left me!
Oh no.
You've sent your letter, Aaron, to Adroma, which hopefully it's gone through. Hopefully you will receive your package soon. So we'll see. And we're going to jump over to you in Santiago, if you two are ready.
Mm-hmm.
So you're heading to the Hunters Guild first?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay. So traveling a little bit of the way, you know your way around the city very, very well. So I imagine you told the rest of the group where you're going to, and you're heading that way. So you get there, and it's this large. So in order to get there, there are like several different like city gates, basically, just to inspect you really quickly, just to make sure that you're all good. You know, not carrying anything of extreme danger, like swords, magic, all that's fine. It's just for a little bit of extra security. But you get into the inner part of the outer spire hell, and I need to sneeze.
Okay.
Okay.
Last year.
And pretty quickly, you kind of find the main area that several of the guilds are set up. The one you're looking for, the Hunters Guild especially, is right next to the Scholars Guild. So if you want to tap over there, you can whenever you want. By this time, by the way, Lucas has gotten his hat, so you can go to the Scholars Guild whenever you want to as well.
Yeah, I figured we were heading that way.
Okay, so Yui and Santiago, you two head up here, and it's a pretty large, imposing building. It's not enormous, although it does seem to be connected to some other buildings nearby. But it is quite substantial, at least, and looks pretty pretty damn well kept up. So obviously they do have some kind of funding, they do have some kind of power here, I guess you could say. There is a guard stood outside, and there's like a 4 or 5 people kind of milling around. There's a large notice board as well, right out the front, that's covered in papers and tacks. A lot of them are torn down, so it's just scraps of papers hanging left, or like ones that have been left up in the rains. There's loads of different jobs up there if you're interested in any of that.
Shall we take a look?
Of course.
So looking through the various jobs and stuff, there's a few that catch your eye. One of them has been posted by a group called the Raven Watch, who are paying people to help them clear out some of the Spireheld underground sewers of the undead, which apparently have been lurking around down there. So they'd send someone to help, but they need help. They need people to clear that out, and they'd pay you and give you a report if you want to talk to one of them. Another one is, let me find it. It's another one by Raven Watch, actually. This is an interesting one, you notice. It doesn't seem related to what you're doing, but there's a small town outside of Spireheld, very close by, not even a day's walk, that is currently having a problem. It's a small mining town. However, the mining town has been taken over by a crazy, and it says, for quote, a crazy old man who's wielding explosives. And they need someone to go in there and get rid of him. The mining town is completely stopped up. No one can do any work. He's threatening to blow up the entire thing. No one knows what he wants. People have tried many times to get it worked. However, the mining town has recently run into some problems with the Laborers Guild. They aren't quite working nicely with the Laborers Guild. So the Laborers Guild has completely refused to send out any help, anything substantial at least. So that's why the mining town has contacted Hunters Guild to try and get people to just get rid of this fucking old man. Apparently, he's also using the mining town and blowing shit up. Not houses, just blowing up the earth. So they want you to figure out, just get him out of there. Just get rid of him. There's also a couple of general, larger scale side quests. I guess you could tell them. They're just like general quests, you know? A few of them mention beasts in other areas if you really want to travel all that way. There is an enormous frog-like creature in the Vile Thorns, which he's taken care of. There's the Remora has in the Azurfelt Forest, but you guys know of that. Apparently, you see a really recent paper as well that catches your eye. Apparently, a part of the Azurfelt Forest has seen a pretty bad fire, which is very unusual for that area. It's almost like
wouldn't know anything about that, huh?
Yeah.
Nope.
Another job is that people have spotted a disgusting, slimy creature sneaking throughout the Spireheld city, and there have been 0 attempts to capture it. Although one person got very close and managed to pull a bone from it. He's the one who set up the quest here to try and track that thing down and get rid of it or figure out what it is. There's not much more of a description there. So there's a few things there if you want to pick out any of those.
By the way, we are friends with Raven Watch.
Oh yeah,
and a certain
guy.
blonde boy is carrying a dagger.
Right.
I'll bring it up to
We
Lucas.
saved him from the tree.
So, Yui, Santiago, what are you thinking?
We'll have to go down into the through the monsters to find that flare to begin with. Might as well be worth killing 2 birds with 1 stone. Get a little bit of money out of it.
That's true. What's the reward for?
So
the
most of
sewer
them don't
zombies?
say rewards. Most of them you have to go meet up with the person. They typically stay near to the quest board, because the rewards are typically pretty negotiable.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring this stuff up to Lucas, but I'm gonna. Who does it say to go to for the zombie one?
Zombie 1, Raven Watch has a small outpost. Currently, Raven Watch, there's a small group of Raven Watch currently in the city. They kind of spread out over the entire land, but currently they're residing inside of the Spireheld guard barracks because they're on quite good terms with most of the places around here. So they're currently in the guard barracks. However, it says the person in particular should be in one of the nearby taverns. Actually, yeah, it's in the one you guys went to last. So you should be able to find him if you look around a little bit.
What's that one called again?
I don't know.
What was it called, Dustin?
I don't know. Well, this is happening, and you two are looking for the quests or the various jobs that are set up. You can also get in contact with any member of the Hunters Guild and set up your own job for other people to do, by the way. And if there was something that you want done, but you don't want to do it, you can pay money to have other people do it. Lucas, Vador, and Kit Kat, are you three continuing shopping, or do you think you're heading back up to where Santiago and Yui are?
Not sure if I was going to head out to the Scholars Guild. Seems kind of like my area to kind of basically just join it and sign papers.
Okay, you head that way?
That's where I'm going.
Okay, my headphones.
Not sure what Bader and KitKat had in mind.
I mean, I'm...
Yeah, so Kit Kat, whenever a Dramalich reads looks at your picture, once they figure out they're free and able to send you that, you can assume they will. When that may be, who knows? But it should be pretty soon. So are the three of you headed up to the Hunter Scholars Guild as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. After a quick walk, you three see Santiago and Yui. I'm standing by the nearby board. The Hunters and Scholars Guild are right next to each other. They're super intrinsically linked, so they have set up.
Oh, hi. I'm going in here. Pointing to the door. Did you find anything worth mentioning?
Something about sewer zombies on the way underground.
Might be worth taking a look at. We'll have to go through there eventually anyway.
That's true.
But was there no sort of bounty already for the Mind Flayer?
No, there was not. If people knew about it, there would have been.
It could be Balix's setup.
I wouldn't put it past him to have put it there.
I wouldn't either. He does wacky shit all the time.
Oh boy.
It's usually a little less deadly.
Listen, okay, ambient voice that's ruling the world, I'll have you know first things first, is that I have a brain, and second off, I can speculate whoever I want. So let's talk about that, shall we?
Are you talking to the book again, or just...
Sure. Nobody else hears it.
You guys want me to, at any point, tell you the major interesting quests on the board, I can tell you. Of course, if you guys want slightly less interesting ones, like kill 30 bears, you know?
Go slaughter some
there's all of that.
No,
None of
that MMO bullshit, please.
I'll make it easy, and I'll just fly up and pick up a bear, and then I'll drop it.
Folding.
Oh, no.
That's easier.
Horrible.
Lucas is kind of inching his way towards like the door of the Scholars Guild. With like every step he talks, and then he like walks back a little bit because he's trying to get this done.
Well, let's go then.
There's a very large double door. They kind of like pull open, and it's quite heavy because it's meant to shut by itself. You step inside into a very, very nicely lit area, very warm, but still at the same time very brightly lit all over the place. You can work. And it seems you come into some kind of lobby or foyer or something, where you can see like several chairs up around the wait. Along with it seems to be like a table of secretaries, 3 of them. The one in the middle looks to be the least busiest. He's a very, very handsome man. You want to talk to him?
Kit says, wait, do I have lizard feet?
Yes.
I also went into the guild, trying to prod the way over anyway.
He swelled up his robe a little bit, and he's like, what the fuck? My feet!
Your feet?
Yes!
Those are your feet. I don't... Okay.
Buttercup, beside you, Kit Kat is like, I too freak out when I notice my feet.
I worry sometimes what that thing's saying.
Oh, the snake? I heard it hiss too.
Mm-hmm.
He only says nice things about nice people.
You are all bitches! I'm a god!
I also get the feeling that because it's a snake, it doesn't say nice things. I've seen it glare at me a couple times.
You are all just doing this in the lobby of like an office building.
Okay.
I thought me and you were the only ones who went in there.
No, everyone did. The entire group walked in, and now you're talking about feet and snakes. And there's just like these 3 secretaries going.
I'm quickening my pace so I'm away from them.
I have also been walking to the desk. I thought me and you were having a conversation about snakes.
Okay, so you're at the desk, and like I said, this very handsome man. He's got like kind of brownish hair, like auburn. and a very, very strong face. And he seems to be folding up some paper currently. He's kind of filing it around. He's got like an ink pen and stuff.
I'm gonna tap my finger on the desk and go, "Excuse me."
Well, hello there! Hi there, it's me, Officer Bureau.
Officer Bureau.
Yes, hello. It's good to meet
Pleasure.
you. What can I do you for? One moment, let me put away my very important paperwork.
Let the man put away his paperwork.
Putting papers onto the desk in front of him now.
Just
sign these!
I'm gonna look them over.
They're entrance papers, detailing and saying that yes, you did enter the building, and you are now trying to get in contact with the Scholars Guild. There's one for each of you.
I'm illiterate.
Certainly quite the official guild.
I'm not putting on paper that my presence was anywhere. I'll just fucking leave.
With the,
Yes! Well,
Can't
I'll be
read.
completely honest with you. Not a lot of these are entirely necessary. I just enjoy paperwork that much.
Thing is trying to join the guild, not just contact them.
Oh, you can 100%. Here, I'll get the paperwork you'll need. And he reaches into his desk, and he pulls out this incredibly dusty binder. It looks like it hasn't been touched in years. And it's got like an inch layer of like dust, and he brushes it all off like briskly. And he opens it up, and you kind of expect him to pull out the leaflet or the papers you need, but he just hands over the entire thing. It's like 4 inches thick.
I'm gonna speed through it.
It's so boring.
I
It is
know.
the most
It reminds me of my
dull-
dad's dribble. Yeah.
It's like the most dull, repetitive, like, you're pretty sure you see like 4 or 5 different pages that are basically asking for the same fucking thing. Just repeating it over again.
So
It's the worst.
What's the most is there papers in here that shouldn't be in here?
You can kind of roll me investigation or insight.
I can roll you that.
What can I do for the rest of you? Are you all planning to join the Scholars Guild? It's a
17.
worthy
No.
profession.
No. I already left as soon as he said we had to sign something to prove we were here.
As engaging as that would be, we're more here for information. Lucas seems to be the only one who's interested in the actual guild.
Understandable. Look, you rolled a 17 on investigation or insight.
17. It's for both.
A lot of these papers, you can tell, probably put in there by Bureau.
Yeah, so I'm picking
Probably
those
not
papers
needed.
out as they go.
Well, you're
Quickly
just no
speed
fun.
reading. Listen, I don't have a lot of time.
So, what can I do you for? What information are you looking to learn? Are you wanting to have lessons on filing paperwork? I personally have several lessons at 5 p.m. If you'd like to join, you can, but you'll have to sign this first.
We're looking for information on, and I give him what it is.
An illithid.
Well, very well then. Let me go talk to some people, and I will be right back. He kind of like walks off quite briskly. Someone else from across the desk leans in, one of the other secretaries, and they're like, "It's a woman. I'm so sorry.
Where's the irregular papers for this? As I've just been pulling out papers.
Here." She hands you like 4 sheets of papers.
Awesome. Lucas just takes the whole book.
Yeah, that's
he's like-
really
and
what
he-
you have there.
He looks at Vader and he's like, "Should I give it to Galileo?"
Yes.
What you have there is with a sign up from about 50 years ago, plus some added bureau things. Don't mind him. He really likes his
You
job.
just tell me where to sign and you tell me information and we're
Actually,
cool.
just right here. You'll have to prove you're not going to be signing up immediately for the organization. It'll be more of like an internship at first.
Yeah,
However,
that's
if you can prove that you're not just doing this to get the benefits of the Scholars Guild, not doing the work. If you bring in information that's valuable to the Scholars Guild, or you do certain jobs with the Scholars Guild.
I mean, I could grant you something right here and now, really.
Well, if you can build enough reputation, you'll be fully admitted, and there are certain tiers to being in the Scholars Guild. Certain
Can I
benefits to
let
being-
you in on a little piece of information that might be helpful?
Not to me. No, there are certain other people that you would treat. I'm just I'm just someone. I'm just a thoroughfare for this kind of thing. There are much better people to tell us to. I hope that helped. Again, Biro, he's very smart, very useful. Don't let him get to you, okay? Sorry. And she goes back to her own stuff. A couple minutes later, Biro comes back out with the whole fucking stack, and he's like, hello
Lucas
there.
Lucas puts down the binder and he's like, I'm done.
Wow, that's incredibly impressive. Perhaps you could show me some of your own paperwork tips in the future.
We'll talk about it.
What is Kit Kat, Sean? What is Kit Kat, Yui, and Vader doing?
Vader is slowly losing her patience.
Vader's losing her patience?
Yui is losing her patience! Shut up!
Oh, ma'am, you're looking awfully antsy this afternoon. Hey, let me give you a quick tip. Find some paperwork, get lost in it. Relieves all stress. Here, I've got some right here.
Just give me the information you have on the Elekid.
He's put down the paper. Oh, excuse me. I apologize. I've got some stuff here. Currently, it seems that many of our scholars and people of the sort are currently a little busy, so I took it upon myself and offered that I would be the one to help you with this endeavor.
Of course he did. Let me read through it.
Wonderful.
Well, wait. The fee for this information, given how much there is, you can have. There's not a huge amount, but it is quite thorough what we do have on illithids. They're quite rare. It'll be 50 shards.
I'll fork over the 50. Screw it.
Okay. Well, thank you very kindly. Here, sign this, and he puts another paper in front of you.
Going to, why not?
Okay. It's like a notice of what's it called? You hand over the money, and he's like, okay. What would you like to know about the illithid?
Can I just read it?
As you were not a part of the guild as of yet, it's difficult to trust certain people with these kinds of things.
I'm really tempted
I'm
just
a
to
very
rip
good
the information right out of his hands.
Weaknesses, looks.
Well, it seems that typically most illithids don't have a huge amount of weaknesses. Although their physical constitution and the ability of them to remain living, I suppose you could say, typically aren't exactly exceptional. In fact, I would almost compare them to just a normal person. What's really dangerous about illithids and mind players, however, are their intelligence and the abilities that come along with said intelligence.
Which include?
To make up for the illithid or mind flayer's poor constitution and state of body, the mind flayer can take over another person's brain, if not just temporarily, sometimes permanently if given enough time. Illithids are also especially terrifying and powerful in a group. Are you asking about an arcanist illithid, a typical illithid or mind flayer, or something a little more?
Let's just hear all of it.
Well, I'll go with the normal illithid at the moment. If you know what it is later, you can come back and ask. A normal illithid will typically keep people away, sending waves and waves of minions after you in order to whittle you down and keep you away entirely. An illithid who knows what it's doing will kill a party before they can even see it. And if they do see it, it'll brain blast them, make you confused, make you disoriented, and if they're really good at their job, they'll make you attack each other. Typically, an illithid will primarily target the person who is the furthest away with good ranged attacks. Although you'd think it would be the DPS person who does the most damage up close and personal, if a good illithid's smart, you won't even be getting up close and personal. They're real squishy. Also, another thing you should know, illithids have a certain magical resistance. They seem to pass on every single throw they can make. Meaning out of game. When they have to make saving throws against magic and magic effects, they have advantage on those throws.
Oh, funny, I do too.
Effects. If you're going after one of the colonies of illithids, good luck. Hopefully you aren't, because those are incredibly rare. Most illithids out in the wild are outcasts or rogues, meaning that hopefully you can take care of them that way. He also tells you, by the way, illithids don't have particular weaknesses. So they're not resistant to any physical attacks. Physical attacks are basically the way to go because it is resistant to magic. It doesn't take half damage from magic, but the best magical effects are the ones that make a saving throw, and it has advantage on all saving throws against magic effects, meaning it's quite strong there. Biro says they're typically underground, so collapsing a fucking cave on them could work. Surprising them in some way could work. They don't have like omniscience in any way. They typically work in the dark. They typically have a lot of minions, so you need to watch out for that. Then he says the best way to defeat one is to know the layout and the landscape and be able to plan around that. Going in blind is typically a death sentence. Do you have any other specific questions about it, or?
Typical size, typical description.
They're about human size. They're very humanoid creatures, the size of a normal adult male. Same width. And again, they're not weak physically. They're just not at all strong, and they have very low, in meta terms, HP and con and stuff like that. Again, their main thing is keeping people the fuck away. So it'll probably target number one above anyone else, any healers, and anyone that has ranged attacks.
So Lucas and Yui.
So our entire party, because we're all ranged attackers.
Which means you're actually pretty well suited to this.
I have range.
Yeah, you do have range.
I have a lightning javelin that returns to me.
And
I can fly.
And is eventually gonna have a net.
What are you guys doing?
We have information now.
A little bit.
So how would we work with something like this if it were, say, underground?
Well, that's typically a mind flayer's main habitat. It depends, really. So mind flayers, being as intelligent as they are, don't really set up traps that often, but they can. So if it's an underground that's particularly disposed to setting up traps, lots of alcoves, lots of places to do that, lots of things to set up, then they can do that as well. But typically they won't, because that kind of gets in the way of the minions. Underground as well is good for them typically, because you can't surround them. So some mind flayers like to get into smaller spaces they can't be surrounded in. What else? The dark is good for them as well. They have very good dark vision. They do not like the light, if I'm right. Let me check.
They don't like the light.
Mind Flayer, turn off the light.
I'm pretty sure that the thing from Ravenwatch might be able to tell us the locale of the underground.
There's plenty of entrances, but
another dangerous thing is that mind flayers know when to run, and they typically like to have escape routes set up. So if you're looking to kill one, you're going to want to block off those escape routes in some way.
Ravenwatch for help.
Or perhaps causing a cave-in on those routes with explosives, maybe?
Where in the world would
If
we
you're
get
looking
that?
to scout an area, the Hunters Guild typically has plenty of scouts. You could hire some of those and have them scout an area and map it for you if you really want to.
Justin, what would Lucas know about mind flayers other than what I was just told?
Roll me a nature check.
Funny, I'm good at that. Very funny, I'm good at that.
I'm good at too.
Do it then. Roll to see if Aaron knows about mind flayers.
21.
21, Sam?
I'm gonna roll.
That was made without advantage.
Let me see what Aaron gets as well.
12.
I got a 16.
Okay, you can actually roll that with advantage, Aaron, because of reasons.
Okay.
You got a 16, Sean?
Yeah.
Okay. Lucas, so far you know the most. We'll see what Aaron gets in a second.
11.
Even less. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Lucas, you know a few things about them. They're super fucking rare. Like really, really, really fucking rare. As in, like, barely ever seen. However, there have been instances of them, and there is some stuff known about them, more like mythological stuff than anything. Typically, they come in huge colonies with basically like a brain in the jar the size of like 5 people. And that's like the main brain that controls a colony. However, sometimes a mind flayer can be an outcast or a rogue or disconnect from that hive mind, and it becomes like an outcast mind flayer. This is probably what you're dealing with here, although you don't know why it's an outcast or where it came from.
Why do they usually do that?
A lot of reasons.
What's a reason I could guess?
There'd probably be something more Vera could tell you than Lucas would know. Aaron, you don't know much about them, but you think you know what they look like surprisingly well. Like, you get a pretty clear image of what one looks like in your mind, even though you don't. Oh, I think she's talking to someone.
Tell Sean what they know.
My brothers.
No, because Aaron specifically knew this.
Well, Sean rolled 2. He rolled a 16.
Yeah, he did. Sean, this is more like intelligence stuff. There isn't a huge. They don't really practice magic. There are some illithids that do, but they are insanely dangerous. So hopefully that's not what you're facing here. Typically, they don't really use magic, however. They just use basically mind fuckery and psychic ability. So they don't even have resistance to psychic damage. You know that. They don't have any resistances, but they don't have any weaknesses either. Either direct damage weaknesses. What else? You only rolled a 16, so you don't know too much. And I'll tell
communicate
their thing whenever they're done.
I communicate that information. What do you think, y'all?
We should probably find out exactly where it is first.
Yeah.
Another thing, mind flayers are typically seen as very evil creatures, very, very intelligent, but they aren't mindless. They definitely aren't beasts. It might even be possible, if this thing is reasonable, to talk to it. But that's like a huge risk. Kit Kat, what I was saying is that you don't think you've ever encountered one. There are definitely no mind flayers in the swamp, right? But for some reason, you've got a really clear image of one in your head.
Is it sexy though?
It's got lots of tentacles. That's what you're into.
Goal is just to get the thing from it.
The mind.
Realistically, you don't even need to deal with it. If the mind of envy is somehow somewhere else, that might even you don't even have to deal with it.
So I could always, if it's possible, I'm pretty sure Balix might know where this thing is. Could always grill it. I could always grill him.
He would have told
I could try, but
That assumes that he'll say anything. But it's worth a shot.
I could use the hypothetical nephew powers and see what I get away
feel like
with.
he would have told us.
You can certainly try, but I'm just not expecting great results from that.
Grill who? Balix?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you don't actually know where he is currently. You could just try to find him.
It's always kind of a we'll see what we're doing, and from there, I do think knowing the layout of everything would be really smart, personally. And then maybe moving from that, at least Yui's mentioning something about explosives, and I don't know where in the world she got that idea.
Why don't I explain it to you? Come here. So I'm going to tell her about the job regarding the guy who's blowing up the mining town.
Okay.
Of course, it's a long shot. My only concern is that depending on if under the assumption that we can get him to help us, he might blow something that causes a part of outer spire health to collapse.
Yeah, that is a problem.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a concern if we're causing a cave-in.
Perhaps it'd be wise to at least figure out where this thing is first. plan around that.
Like I said, Balix might know. He's sometimes roundabout with information. I think he enjoys some kind of game going on with that. But that's besides the point. He could know something. We could talk to the Hunters Guild.
I have a feeling if he knew where it was, he would have it already.
Then how would he then how does he know that it's here is the question. If he didn't know where it was.
How the fuck does he know anything?
It's probably that gem he jammed in his skull.
That's the gem of need. It doesn't show you things like that. At least not that I'm aware of.
It's entirely possible he just wanted that thing, and it just so happens that a monster had it, so that's how he knew about it.
You sound really quiet, and I've turned up your audio twice now.
Oh, I've set everyone's audio to 200.
But the madman blowing up a town, I mean, he might just be worth popping in the head and then stealing his explosives. You know,
That could also work.
That to the local authorities.
I mean, if Vader knows how to make explosives, we'd have to buy it, but...
It can't be that hard.
I think it can be that hard.
I know a little bit of alchemy. Aside from that fact, I wouldn't really know anything.
What's the plan here? You guys could do some side stuff in order to level up or get stronger or find better items in order to deal with the elephant a little better. You could try and hire or scout out yourself the underground part of Spireheld. You could try and just talk to the elephant, try and get in contact with it somehow. There's lots of options here. You might not even have to deal with the illithid. You could just go and try and find some kind of scryer or divination wizard to find out exactly where this item is you're looking for and just go straight for it. You get lots of options here. You could try and go deal with the old man to steal his explosives or see what the fuck he wants.
The plan I like the most is having Kit Kat take it on a date to distract it while we grab the thing, because that's very stupid. But,
yeah,
but I know that's very stupid.
It is an illithid that's cut off from its colony and might be lonely, might be needing some love.
MonstersOnly.com, baby.
That's right. That's right, baby.
Remember, solving this non-violently will get you guys just as much of experience and shit solving it by killing it.
Well, regardless, there's still monsters down there too, so they need to be cleared out eventually.
Yeah. Well, there's also a question there: is why the fuck are there hordes of monsters and undead underneath Spireheld?
Didn't he say that the Mind Flayer can make pawns, minions?
Yeah, he did. That's one of their main things.
Then we need to know the layout. I refuse to go down there without knowing a layout. There is no reason whatsoever that we should run in blind. Absolutely stupid.
Could pay someone to scout it for us, but honestly, I don't know if I trust that.
I'm under the assumption that Yui would know the entrances to the underground, but not the general layout of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was used a long time ago as kind of like an underground system to get around, but when things started moving in and it got more dangerous, even only the most toughest of criminals and shit would use it.
All right. Layout at least would be the best place to start. I'm in agreement.
We need a layout.
Are you gonna scout it yourself, or try and hire people to do that for you?
There has to be somebody that already has a layout of this stuff.
It is true.
It might be someone who wants a lot of money for that kind of information.
Well, there's no reason to go down there ourselves.
Why don't we just ask you?
I wouldn't mind doing some scouting. If the tunnels are real small, it's going to be kind of inconvenient.
Could we buy some chalk?
is an underground sewer, so maybe not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Concrete to draw on.
Plenty.
So, me and Yui are in agreement, and I think Beta too, that we need a layout.
Yep.
Think about it this way: if we fight it and we don't know the layout, hate to say it, those things are intelligent. Why aren't they going to go after a couple of the intelligent people on this team?
They think I'm sexy.
Okay, well, I think your plan is
It's going to be
brilliant.
trance.
You're going to not be you by the end of that date. You're going to be trying to kill the rest of us.
Yeah, what's a date without a little bit of murder?
You know, wouldn't you, Santiago?
A date without a little bit of murder is a boring fucking date.
I think it's best to get a layout, like I keep saying.
Yeah, you're right. We should, because I just be careful, because if there's a tunnel system and tunnels running under this city, no matter how dangerous it is, there's going to be way more dangerous people using it. Listen, if Kitka's willing, someone who is accustomed to sewers, I guess, I don't know.
They can also teleport and also be in water, so if there's sewers down there, there's water.
The most mobile one, yeah. So I think sending them to scout ahead's not a bad idea at all.
But the thing is that Kitka would need to draw.
You can draw.
Can you draw, Kitka?
I drew a rat.
Easy drew a rat. If we see drawings of rats, we'll know it's from him.
I'm fine with whatever. I'm fine with that if that's what we're going with.
The plan is Kit Kat gonna have to scout out the sewers?
We can see if there's water down there first.
Yeah, that'd probably be good if there was some water.
If there isn't water, then the whole plan goes to pot.
It was around this point that our audio recording decided to not work. As of this recording, which would be May 16th, it is a lot better. We have more control on how the recording works and how the software goes, and for the next 4 episodes, there will either be a beginning or an ending by me to kind of give you the juice and the tea that all came with the sessions, because sometimes things just happen. It was around here that the party decided to go to sleep. Several things happened that next day. Kit got their magical flute from their relation, Adramalich. The group ended up buying the flying broom from Tobatius, and Lucas proving just how innocent he really is by not understanding a very few selective phrases said to him by the group in Galileo. Soon thereafter, he lost said innocence after reading a very raunchy book given to him by Yui. They also discovered a few strange things that day as well. Yui had found an old forgotten locket inside one of the inn's rooms covered in a strange gray slime. Santiago, Kit, and Bader also went to the home of an older, senile, violent dwarf and learned some information about a strange slime monster stalking the streets of Spireheld. Later on, they learned that this creature is actually a skeleton of an elf wrapped in a highly corrosive gray slime as a strange mockery of a body. They learned that the creature does want the locket, but upon touching it, it begins to corrode and fall apart, so it can't touch it without destroying it. They also encountered Bedivere, a man from a previous session, whom the group encountered and claimed that all undead are evil and vile and feels the same way about this no matter what anyone says, and he makes it clear he can't wait to destroy it. The group also believed, through Lucas's intuition, magical know-how, and understanding of this rune magic, that the skull this creature owns is somehow the skull that contains the mind of Envy. Finally, when they all decide to go to sleep after this, they have a strange collective dream. They're in an enormous 100-foot-tall building with glass dome roof. There appears Galileo, who speaks in a refined and calmer tone, practically a completely different voice. He tells them, "Welcome to the Abbey of Angels," and he hopes they enjoy their stay. A strange body formed of pages and words wrap around him as he takes on a humanoid form before opening up two 50-foot-tall doors to the outside, where the group stare out at an endless ocean for the first time in their entire lives. However, this was not the end of the session quite yet. They all woke up the next morning to find that Bedivere had gone out and decided he was going to try to take it upon himself to go and fight the Elven Slime Woman. We had learned that the Elven Slime Woman recognized Santiago and was probably their grandmother, their aunt, we aren't sure. And as this went on, we learned that the burning in the Azerfeltian forest was due to the Revenant, which was originally known as Calfin, which was an elven guard from Azerfelt. From there, it was chasing through the streets to aim after Santiago. It's obvious this man really wanted Santiago dead, so the party came up with their own plans. Bader, Kit, and Yui ran after Santiago, who ran towards the edge of the Centerlands to try to get this thing off the side of the island. Nobody knows what's off of it, so they figured that was the best point of action. As this was happening, the gray, thunderous, loud storm clouds of Yasius reappeared as he reappeared in the streets. Lucas, who had noticed his father's airship coming by, had gotten on his broom and went to go get him, but had noticed Yasius himself. For the first time, Lucas had spoken to a giant, and it didn't go well. Yasius brought him with him, and as he punched towards the Revenant and knocked it off the side of the earth, along with the Slime Elven woman, the entire party went with him. And for the first time, somebody was knocked off the edge of the islands, and the group continued to fall until Lucas and Kit decided to get on their flying objects, or their wings, and start getting the entire party. As this happened, they landed on a ship, and for the first time, they knew that there were people down here. They didn't know that anybody was down here. Lucas, in a fit of upset and worry and regret and blaming himself, he went back up to find help. And as he went up there, he found himself in his backyard back in Ethereum, wherein he found, as he walked towards the house and he overheard a voice, he found a legitimate clone of himself and his bird North. He invited this other Lucas onto the broom, and they went back towards Spireheld to see if they could locate Alistair Lynn's airship.